If you're tired of mainstream media outlets selecting news stories and events that don't appeal to Black America, then become a member of the Unbossed Network today, where we are the voice of Black America and providing coverage of events and news stories that you won't hear anywhere else. Visit theunbossednetwork.com to become a member today.
Has started back up, and this is the 5th year in a row for Safe Streets here in Columbus. And the first year, bike officers will be patrolling neighborhoods around downtown and the north side. Safe Streets will also be rolled out in the Southfield community. But I was talking, I wasn't speaking with, I was on a commission meeting, the North Central Area Commission meeting last night, and one of the sergeants who runs the Safe Street program said the Safe Street program will only be rolled out in Precinct 5 and Precinct 2. So that's something right there, which is basically the Linden area and Southeast Columbus. I guess those are the neighborhoods where the most violence happens, but I'll leave that where it may, because the mayor is saying that Safe Streets has had very positive reviews over the past few years, and is one of several anti-violence programs he's expanding because he has seen a spike in shootings and killings. Normally, Safe Streets runs during the summer months, so from the end of May until the end of August, beginning of September, just 3 to 4 months throughout the summer. But this year, the mayor has chosen to roll out, because of the violence, this past week, Safe Streets a month early, and who knows how long it's going to run to. Now, and I don't want people to say I'm only giving one side of the story. I will say last year, during their limited 4-month operation due to the pandemic, Safe Streets officers, they did seize 63 illegal guns, and they had more than 100 felony arrests, and they addressed well over 400 property problems, from everything with the property being drug houses to people loitering on vacant properties. So I'm not saying Safe Streets doesn't work. What I am saying is that Safe Streets could be better, and this is what I was trying to explain to everybody during the last segment, is that community policing can only work when police officers are not only patrolling the community, but they are patrolling communities that they live in. Here in Columbus, if I was to pick up my phone right here, right now, and call 911, it would probably take them, and if I said somebody was, God forbid, breaking in my house, it would probably take them 5 minutes, if not longer. And by that point, we all know that anything could have happened in that time span. And that 5 minutes, when something's happening to you and you've decided to dial 911 and to not take things into your own hand, time slows down. Very exponentially, it slows down. And it feels like time is taking forever. That 5 minutes feels like an hour. But what I do also know is that a lot of officers are retiring from the department and leaving the department. And they're retiring from the department, some because they put in their years and they're taking their pensions and getting out of there because they deserve it. They put in their 25 plus years already. Some are leaving the department because they don't like the direction it's set it in. And some And when I say they don't like the direction it's headed in, what I'm referring to, everybody, just so you know, is not the direction in a good way where we are renegotiating FOP. No, no, no. The direction it's headed in as meaning there's progress and change coming to the department. Safe streets, it could be better, but it can only be better if we in Black Columbus, and I know this is hard because it's hard for me. I'm not going to sit here and tell that damn lie that it's not hard for me. To when we see those officers on bikes, to greet them and smile at them and say hi and say thank you for being here. I know we don't want to. I know we want to roll out and rock out to that NWA song, Fuck the Police, and say fuck 12 and all that. But no, we can't do that. We can't. We need to welcome them into our neighborhoods. We need to stop them. We need to have a conversation with them. And here's how I know community policing can and will work in the city. If implemented the right way, and if we get the officers to move into these neighborhoods, if we get them to move into the neighborhoods and which they're going to be patrolling and living in, here's how I know it will work. When I was going to college, I went to Wittenberg University. My first year there in 2013, they had welcomed on a new chief. The chief was from the outside. And the first thing the chief did was he made the officers for over half their shift get out of their cruisers and begin walking around campus and talking with students. Going inside the dorm room, sitting down with them, having lunch, shoot some pool in the commissary areas, play some ping pong, and to really take time to get to know the community, to get to know the students. If it could work on a small to mid-sized campus, the size of a small city like Bexley, it can work in America's 15th largest city. You might be saying, DaVante, you got to be out of your mind. But no, I'm telling you, same principles and philosophy can be taken and implemented here. And the way they can be implemented here is that, and the way we can get a broader response, a quicker response time, rather, when we do choose to call 911, is if officers live within the communities that they patrol. So if somebody's going to be on patrol in precinct number 2, they have to live in precinct 2. If they're going to be in patrol in precinct 4, they have to live in precinct 4, and so on and so on. There's somebody right now talking about in the comments right now, and here I'll just put it up because we fundamentally need to address this. She says, "I called 911 before, and the line was busy. I just heard about the police retiring and leaving, and it needs reformed. They don't want to interact, and they need to." And this is why we need community policing. We can't just leave it up to one unit of 50 to 70 officers to patrol these two zones. The city's much larger than the Linden area and the Southeast Columbus. It's way much larger than that. But I also know that us living in the Linden area, the only way we'll get a quick response time, if we do get it then, or when shots are ringing out, or when a body is found, because we don't live in Italian Village. We don't live in German Village. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say those type of things. But it's the truth. If we lived in those neighborhoods, we'd get a quick response time. Or if more white people lived in the Linden area, more affluent white folk. Or maybe if the mayor moved into the Linden area, or one of our city council people moved into the Linden area, or onto the hilltop. Not the New Bottoms, the Franklinton area, the hilltop where the drug epidemic is at an all-time high. Overdoses are at an all-time high in the city, but you won't hear about all of that. Change. 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 Reform needs to happen. And these police officers need to live in the cities and in the communities, in the neighborhoods in which they patrol, so they would be able to communicate better. Now, I'm a big fan of the TV show. It comes on Thursday nights on CBS called SWAT. Huge fan of it. And the reason why I'm a huge fan of it, or not so much the reason why I'm a huge fan of it, one of the things they did on SWAT is they moved a group of their SWAT officers into one of the worst neighborhoods. They brought vacant and abandoned house and fixed it up and repaired it in one of the worst neighborhoods in LA and moved in. And now they are being able to interact with the community way before they ever have to interact with them with their shield and weapon. And the community is now able to view them and their relationship differently. The community is now able to knock on their door and say, hey, I got a problem. And they don't have to deal with it with their guns and things like that. They can talk out the problem and do whatever it is that needs to be done in an official or unofficial capacity. But the police are just their neighbor. Now, and I have younger siblings, and my younger brother, who will be 6 on the 22nd, he tells me all the time, DaVante, I want to be a cop or something to do with being a first responder. Most of the time he says I want to be a cop. And I'm not going to lie to you, that scares the hell out of me when he says he wants to be a cop. Because cops are killing us. The cops are 5 times more likely to shoot him and me and you too than they are a white person here in Columbus. They're 5 times more likely to shoot us for being black. And that is a shame. That is a crime to be black in America. But that's where we are. That's where we are. It is a crime to be black in America. I'm interested to see how the Safe Streets program works and how it progresses this season. And I will be on this show having the officers on to this show to discuss what we as a community, what we as Black Columbus can do to help them out and help make their job easier. Now, and I know I won't be liked by a lot of folk for saying that I'm going to have CPD officers on this show to come and talk about why we should work with them in the Safe Streets initiative. But I can't take going to another funeral. I really can't. I don't know about you, but I can't take shedding any more tears because we have decided to shoot up our own people. It's bad enough they're shooting us up, but now we're shooting us up. So I can't wait to invite them on. I have their email, contact information, and their phone numbers. And I'm going to be reaching out to them in the coming days and weeks ahead to have them on here. to discuss the Safe Streets program and what we can do to work with them. Because as long as we are working against CPD, we'll continue to see this tension and opposition. Not only will we continue to see this tension and opposition, but, and I know the protest community isn't going to like me, but oh well. Oh well, this needs to be said. I told you already that we don't need to abolish the police department. We just need to bring reform to it, and we need to defund it because they don't need $360 million. They don't. So we're going to work with them and do everything that we can. And then when they continue killing us, because they will kill another Casey, they will kill another Andre, another Miles, another Micaiah. Sadly, they will in the coming months. CPD will. It's just a fact. And we speak truth here on this show. Truth. We speak truth to power. They will kill somebody else. Another black and brown brother or sister. And when they do, we can't say that we didn't give them the opportunity. We didn't decide to try and work with them to try and get them over this hump, to try and figure out what the problem was. We didn't try and work with them, and they can't say, well, they didn't understand us and all that. We're trying to work with you. So when that happens, burn this baby down. Burn this baby down. When they do kill one of us again.
My name is Julius Bailey, and I seek to become your next city commissioner here in Springfield, Ohio. A vote for me is a vote for clear-mindedness, sharp and detailed analysis, and a care for people. I'm not a typical politician. I'm an administrator, a teacher, a servant. I don't promise what I cannot deliver, and I don't scratch where I don't itch. I'm a builder, an observer of talent, an organizer of people and ideas. I listen first. I act cautiously with a swift desire to meet the practical needs of people. I'm not going to politicize whether wearing a mask in public to avoid the spread of coronavirus or if that is such a restriction of free speech. I simply care for myself and others. I'm not going to be afraid to say that Black lives do matter while also fully supporting those law enforcement officials who are committed to safety, respect, and honor to the badge. My pro-choice stance, it does not make me pro-abortion, and my advocacy for same-gendered loving couples earning access to all of civil rights, it don't make me non-Christian. Springfield, we have real problems. We must broaden our business and job-creating base. We must support colleges like Clark State and Wittenberg who seek to hone the talent, minds, bodies of our citizens to move us all toward greatness. You know, I want you to see what a political office ought to be. Springfield, Ohio. Let's build together.
If you're tired of mainstream media outlets selecting news stories and events that don't appeal to Black America, then become a member of the UnBossed Network today, where we are the voice of Black America and providing coverage of events and news stories that you won't hear anywhere else. Visit theunbossednetwork.com to become a member today.